Summer is here, and with it a new GTA Online DLC in the form of the much needed Money Fronts update. And I've already alluded to it in my previous videos on this DLC. It is one of the better updates that we've received in the last couple years in my opinion, especially after disappointments like San Andreas Mercenaries, and for many bottom dollar bounties, even though I go against the grain with that one. I kind of do like it a lot. Money Fronts is not perfect, but it does offer some really lucrative business options and a few quality of life updates as well that I'll be discussing in depth in a future video. Right now though, in this video, I'm going to tell you about the top 10 things in this DLC that you should spend your hard-earned GTA dollars on and explain why they're worth it as well. Because quite frankly, if you've got a few $100 million just sitting there in your bank account, burning a hole in your pocket as well, you can just go ahead and buy every vehicle, both new and returning, and install Money Tech upgrades on them. But this video is for the folks out there who don't have infinite money and need to make choices. If you want a list of items that you'll actually use, then here they are. Starting off with the most obvious one, the hands-on car wash. Before the Money Fronts DLC, everyone thought of car washes as just another unnecessary feature that Rockstar retained in the game for immersion purposes, but now you can actually use a car wash to launder money for Mr. Faber, and through the new money laundering operations and missions, you can generate $70,000 for this first week while the 2x bonus is active, every 7 to 8, 9, 10 minutes if you're moving at a decently slow pace. On average, if you like to optimize the game, you could take 6 minutes and do 10 of these missions per hour. But either way, after the 2x bonus for $70,000 a mission wears off, you'll be back down to the base rate and the normal programmed rate of $35,000 per mission, but that's still very good for what it is, because these are essentially a contact mission with a few twists that you can complete extremely fast and farm them with no cooldown. Mission variety for the car wash is pretty good, and it ranges from finding vehicles for how to torching down rival operations, so you're the only money laundering organization in the entire town of Los Santos, and while you can't select which mission you'll get, you can chain these together one after the other because there's zero cooldown, and you don't even have to be at the car wash. Just call up Raph on your cell phone and he'll send you the job details via your phone. For $1 million, you really can't go wrong with the car wash business, and it's a good choice for both beginners and veterans, although I'd say it's still more geared to a seasoned player who owns an Oppressor Mark II or a Deluxo or a Sparrow or just any other really fast vehicle, because then you can just fly between these missions, and that's going to make the pacing so much faster and of course optimize your money per hour running the car wash business. But if you're just driving around in a normal coupe or sedan, you'll be just fine as well. Smoke on the Water is a supplementary business that you can get as an expansion to your car wash, and it costs $850,000. You can purchase this business through the laptop in your money laundering office, and while it doesn't offer any special vehicles, you can do the same money laundering missions as the car wash, only this time they will come with a slight twist. Instead of generic jobs, you'll get weed-themed missions where you're either delivering fertilizer barrels that are secretly full of cash or burning up someone else's grass farm. Pretty fun, and the payout is similar to that of the car wash. It has its own heat bar that's independent from the car wash heat bar, so you'll have to do medical marijuana deliveries to pretend to be a legit business if you don't want the IRS knocking on your door and shooting up your dog. Next is Higgins helicopter tours, and at $900,000, it's a lot cheaper than most other businesses in the game. This one is also a supplementary business for your car wash, and it comes with the same set of money laundering missions and Mr. Faber heists, although this time the money laundering operations will be helicopter themed, so you'll do work that involves some flying. Again, it's a nice shift of pace from the usual missions, and if you own the car wash, you might as well buy this third business because it does have some additional benefits, like a 10% boost to your hangar cargo sales, as well as a special control panel that lets you summon any personal helicopter to your helicopter tours pad. While selecting which vehicle to spawn in, if you press X on Xbox or square on PlayStation, you spawn inside of the helicopter and it's already in the air, which makes the Helitours business absolutely awesome for grinders. And mind you, if you buy Smoke on the Water, that will increase your grass sales at your MC business grass farm by over 35% exactly, and your car wash business will increase your counterfeit cash earnings at 35% as well. So that is pretty cool. Your counterfeit cash sales. Alright, now it's time for some vehicles, and one of my absolute favorites in this new DLC is the Ubermacht Sentinel GTS. You even get to drive it with the special Quickie Farm Medical Center livery if you do the medical supply delivery missions. And so if you want a test run, just try out that business to get a feel for how the car handles. The Sentinel GTS is a 4-door sedan based on the G80 BMW M3, which is infamous for its giant twin kidney grille, among some other features like optional all-wheel drive, and I personally like that car IRL, so I was super excited to finally drive it in GTA GTA Online, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The GTS handles really well despite weighing over 1.8 tons, and it comes with all-wheel drive in the game, so you don't really have to worry about traction when you're accelerating out of corners. The top speed is a respectable 132 miles an hour, and there are tons of customization options whether you're looking for rims, bumpers, grills, hoods, etc. So if you don't like the way the GTS looks, well, you can change it to your liking. Personally, I think it is one of the better looking cars in the game. Very understated, yet it also has a hint of sportiness and finesse, and it also looks super muscular, and with that sublime exhaust note, honestly, I don't think I'll ever get tired driving it around the streets of Los Santos. And yes, this vehicle does support Imani tech, so you can install your missile lock-on jammer on it if you're worried about oppressor kitties blowing up your fancy $2.1 million ride. The price is going to be a little bit steep for it, I'll concede that, but you can also unlock the sales price of $1.6 million by doing all quickie farm deliveries, and that's a super easy task. And while we're on the topic of prices, let's talk about that new Western police bike, which costs an eye-watering $4.96 million for what's basically a Harley-Davidson Road King police model. And while the bike does look really cool, I don't think it's worth near the $5 million price tag unless you plan on purchasing the associated Summer Highway Patrol outfit, which is, by the way, a limited time exclusive item. So thanks Rockstar for that. We've had this tease for us hanging over our head for months since the Agents of Sabotage DLC released. Good to see that they haven't lost their old habits after all these years. If you already own a cop car, then I highly recommend you do the dispatch missions, as 3 of those will unlock the trade price of $3.7 million for the police bike, which is still really high. Isn't nearly as outrageous as $5 million though. And as for customization, this bike does actually give you a lot of options, so you can change everything from the exhaust pipes to the fairings, and you can even install custom police equipment like crash bars, panniers, and even emergency lights on the rear that also come with radio antennas. Now, of course, there's no point in getting this cool looking bike and not owning the Summer Highway Patrol uniform, so you might as well walk into the nearby clothing store and grab yourself the limited time outfit so you can roleplay as a cop and act like a total jackass. Something which a lot of players do for free. But if you're worried about being the center of attention and catching a homing missile to the face, don't worry, because the Western police bike also supports missile lock-on jammer technology. That's awesome, but guess what? They don't work. Rockstar is actually super lazy, and they don't playtest stuff anymore, so half the vehicles in this update are broken, and the missile lock-on jammers on them don't work. Now, this will get patched, but if your Western police bike isn't distracting incoming missiles, remember, right now it's a bug, not a feature at the time of me making this video. Hopefully it gets patched soon. The Hakucha Drag is a vehicle that's been around since forever, and I consider it one of the best bikes in the game, and certainly the best weapon of choice for drag races as well as HSW time trials, but now it's twice as good because you can also use it as a free roam grinding vehicle thanks to the new missile lock-on jammer upgrade. That's right, the Hakucha Drag is now one of the several existing vehicles that's been retrofitted with the ability to accept a missile lock-on jammer at the agency, and so if you're looking for some extra protection, there you go. Any vehicle that supports both HSW upgrades as well as Imani tech is a must-have in this game, and the Hakucha Drag just became a lot more interesting after the Money Fronts DLC drop. The Everin RS is another vehicle that caught my eye with this new update, and it's based on the 2024 Toyota Tacoma X-Runner concept vehicle, which means it isn't very practical as a work truck. You certainly won't be doing off-road races or climbing over hills to do business deliveries with this thing, because it has neither the ground clearance nor the ability to withstand rough situations, but it is very fast. And it comes with the usual all-wheel drive as well as a really nice suspension setup, so this is one of the few trucks in GTA Online that can actually corner at top speed without wrapping itself around a tree trunk. And I also think it's really good with its low stance. It's clean, it's got a futuristic front end that almost looks like an EV because the grille is hidden underneath that massive Karen nameplate, and you wonder how this thing even breathes until you can see that giant carbon fiber hood scoop and the front splitter and realize this isn't a hauler, this is a race vehicle for sure, through and through. It weighs 2.1 tons according to Bruffy1322. It's got all-wheel drive, $1.6 million price tag, and this is a truck that's classified as an SUV in the game for some reason. I don't know. Rockstar is weird, but fully upgraded, this baby will hit 125 miles an hour, which is a lot faster than a lot of dedicated sports cars, and it's certainly no slouch around the corners either. The Anis Hardy is probably the most unique handling car out of all the new vehicles that have been introduced with the Money Fronts update, and it's set to be a drifting monster right out of the showroom floor. This car looks very retro with its boxy angles and those headlights that are reminiscent of family sedans from the late 80s and early to mid 90s. It has super clean lines all throughout the body, and while it doesn't immediately strike you as super sporty, once you get in it for a quick test drive, you'll realize that this thing loves to move around and slide all over the place. not in a sloppy, uncontrolled, and negative way, but in a way that feels fun, refined, and also in a way that's going to connect you to this car. The rear end will slide out effortlessly with a quick blip of the throttle as you go around a turn, and just when you think you're about to run into that nearby light post, this car will regain its grip and snap back. It makes you feel like a drifting god, even though you're just throwing it around and snaking all over the road like an amateur, and that's why the Inis Hardy is so fun to drive. You can tell that everything is super balanced right out of the gate, so you don't really have to fiddle around too much to make it feel good. The main downside of this car is, again, like every other new vehicle in this DLC, the price. $1.4 million for a regular old sedan with no additional features. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. I've already purchased it and I have no regrets, but if you're a low-level player and you don't have a lot of cash, maybe you'd be better off spending that money on the Hakucha Drag that I mentioned. That's going to serve you well in time trials and general racing plus money making, and now it has that missile lock-on jammer as well. The Hardy also does support a missile lock-on jammer, by the way, but are you really going to use this as your free mode vehicle when there are other better armored options out there? I don't really think so, but it is still fun to drive. And then finally, we've got two MC businesses that just got a whole lot better. The Counterfeit Cash Factory as well as the Grass Farm, both of which will get a 35% boost to sell missions if you own the hands-on car wash and smoke on the water. Previously, I didn't really grind the cash or the grass, but the last 2 days have been quite profitable for me as I'm consistently making over $450,000 per sell mission, at least with the Cash Factory. And this is in a private lobby with no other players. So remember that you'll also get a high demand bonus if you do it in a public lobby, up to 50% extra. And honestly, for good measure, if you have the helicopter business like I was saying in that segment of the video, make sure you get a hangar as well if you have not purchased one already, because of that 10% extra sale value bonus you get when you buy and own the helicopter tours business. And there you have it, guys. These are the top 10 must-buy items in the new GTA Online Money Fronts DLC. Some of these, like the Hakucha Drag and the Cash Factory, have been around for a long time, but they just got a whole lot better with this summer update, which is why I decided to include them on my list in case you guys were wondering what to spend your money on. At a baseline level, you should at least buy the car wash, as it only costs $1 million and will make you really good money throughout the lifetime of this game as we approach GTA 6. The content here is short and sweet, just 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes per mission depending on your pacing, and there is 0 cooldown, so you can spam it whenever you're in the mood. And the new police vehicles are also quite interesting, although a little bit overpriced, particularly, like I said, that Western police bike. But those are just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushtv for daily GTA Online live streams. I also upload 2 or even 3 YouTube shorts as well as TikToks every single day. Rapid fire tips, tricks, news, updates, tutorials, guides, and more. And I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.